What is the best timing for exercising to lose weight? Before we start discussing this topic, let me first introduce a little story about a group of mouse in the beginning of this video. Once upon a time, there was a group of mouse hiding inside a house which a rich man was living in. The rich man always left a lot of remaining food after every meal, so the mouse didn't have to worry about the lack of food source. However, because of the abundant food intake and the lack of movement, many of the mouse gradually became fat and faced many health problems due to obesity. Therefore, the mouse leader proposed an exercise scheme for the whole group of mouse to tackle with these public health issues. However, there was two different voices arguing about whether they should exercise in the morning or evening. They didn't reach the consensus, so they split it into two parties. One is the morning exercise party, and the other is the evening exercise party. Both of these two parties insist their point of view, and finally they agree to conduct an experiment to see which party was the correct one. This little story is actually explaining the process of experiments which were recently done by researchers. They separated mouse into two groups, which exercise in the morning and the evening respectively. They looked for the difference between two groups. They used mouse to simulate how exercise timing affects humans' energy metabolism. So how are the results? Before we look into the results, I must first introduce a term called circadian cycle, which will be much easier to understand as the biological clock. The term biological clock gives us a concept that there is actually an internalized clock stored inside our body. This clock helps us regulate a lot of things. It sets approximate timing for us to do certain things, such as when to sleep, eat, or even go for a poop. So does the biological clock set the best time for us to exercise to lose weight? If yes, what is the physiological principle behind it? Let me review the results of the experiments by looking into the mouse story again. The two parties of mouse ran on the treadmill in the morning and evening respectively. After that, they invited the scientists to test whether there was any difference in the metabolism of muscles between the two parties of mouse. Surprisingly, the scientists find out that the morning exercise mouse has a more active glucose breakdown and fats burned. Scientists believe that a specific protein in our body called Hi1F alpha lead to this difference, because they find out that the biological clock will affect the activity of this protein, and meanwhile, Hi1F alpha has a role to regulate our energy metabolism during exercise. So, this experiment suggested the physiological basis to support that morning exercise is better than evening when it comes to burning fat. Actually, a lot of previous researchers also agree that morning exercise can burn fat more effectively. Some of the researchers point out that because we have been experiencing a long fasting after sleeping at night, our glycogen storage in the morning is usually at a low level. That means we will more easily to use up all our glycogen storage if we exercise in the morning. As our body prefers using glycogen than fat as the fuel to produce energy, the depletion of glycogen storage forces our body to shift to burn fat to support our morning exercise training. But the story has an end. The scientists also find out that exercise in the evening has its own advantages. Besides testing the difference in muscle metabolism in the two parties of mouse, the scientists also observed the difference in exercise performance in these two parties. They find out that the evening exercise mouse perform averagely 50% better than the morning exercise mouse. In fact, similar results were also found in experiments on humans. Researchers find out that the human body can use oxygen to generate energy in a more efficient way in the evening than in the morning. So, this is the end of the mouse story. According to these researchers, If you are an elite athlete who are aiming at pushing your performance to break the record in the competitions, it would be a better choice to train in the evening. If you simply want to burn more fats and manage your body weight, morning exercise seems to be a better choice. Honestly, this is only the temporal suggestions from the researchers based on the evidence so far. Scientists admitted that they still need much more work to further confirm these assumptions. But there is one thing that all the scientists in this field would agree, which is the importance of consistency. Instead of struggling between exercising in the morning or evening, it is more worthy to pick a specific time for a workout and stick to it regularly. Researchers have shown that sticking to a specific timing to exercise can bring us significant results in weight management than an irregular exercise pattern. That means whether exercise in the morning or evening is not a key point to determine your results in weight losing. Scientists believe that this is because a consistent workout timing can help us build up the habit of exercise. The motivation of those who stick to a specific timing is higher than those who are not. Apart from psychological aspect, it is also shown that our biological clock can gradually adapt to the exercise pattern of human. That means if you consistently work out at a specific time, your biological clock can adapt to that time and alter the metabolic function to get ready for your training. This can make your physical activity more efficient. So, which time would you pick for building up your consistent exercise training? Morning or evening? Why? Comment below. Remember to like, subscribe, and share if you like this video. Thanks for watching.